What if you could save time and be in better shape? High-intensity interval training, also referred to as HIIT, is a workout method that produces physical health benefits such as weight loss and muscle gain. It also increases feelings of excitement and enjoyment in a time-efficient manner that is suitable for all age groups and levels of fitness. High-intensity interval training is a more efficient way of working out than moderate intensity continuous training. I personally have taken part in both of these types of workouts and have been able to firsthand experience the results of both. I've also done a lot of research, and I've written a 12-page paper about this topic and spoken to many professionals in the area. So what is high-intensity interval training? High-intensity interval training is a workout method that includes alternating intervals of intense exercise followed by short, less intense periods of recovery. So it's all about getting your heart rate up and then not letting it fully come down before you get it up again. And it can be performed with running, cycling, body weight movements, or weights. And generally, the sessions last about 15 to 30 minutes, and they're performed around 2 to 3 times a week. Now, in contrast, moderate intensity continuous training is a traditional workout method that just includes running, walking, swimming, cycling, rowing, and it is workouts that are done at a moderate intensity for the entire workout, around 70% of your max effort, and usually the sessions last about 50 minutes. So what are some physical health benefits of high-intensity interval training? So high-intensity interval training, as I mentioned before, helps with fat loss, weight loss, and muscle gain. So the short and high-intense intervals activate your metabolism, which stays activated for up to 48 hours after you complete the workout, and calories are burning within that entire 48-hour period. So there's also this concept called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, and this refers to the amount of oxygen that is required to put your body back into its normal state. So high-intensity interval training kind of puts your body in a different state, and then it takes energy to get it back, which is also why your body continues to burn calories after you've finished working out. And there have been multiple studies done that the participants in the studies perform high-intensity interval training as well as moderate intensity continuous training, and then the measurements are taken before and after, and it has shown that body mass index, body fat percentage, and weight all decreased with the participants that took part in the high-intensity interval training versus the participants that took part in moderate intensity continuous training. In addition, in another study, measurements were taken for cardiovascular exercise and sit-ups and push-ups and shuttle runs, and then after, participants took part in high-intensity interval training, and then a group of participants did not. And the group that did participate in the high-intensity interval training showed improvements in all of those exercises, which proves the increased capacity for cardiovascular and muscular endurance. So HIIT is a great alternative to continuous exercise, not only for its physical benefits, but also for its psychological benefits. It is scientifically proven that high-intensity interval training elicits more happiness and feelings of reward and success in its participants than moderate-intensity continuous training. The participants of HIIT feel accomplished because they work very hard for a short amount of time. And those short intervals, they elicit constantly changing stimulus, which keeps its participants engaged and excited to work out. So, all levels of fitness can experience these physical and psychological benefits that come with high-intensity interval training. So HIIT is a very variable workout where you can modify so many things. So for example, someone who is not as physically fit as another person could do push-ups on their knees instead of on their toes. Or they could shorten the intervals, the intense intervals, and lengthen the rest intervals to make it applicable for them. In addition, these workouts are very suitable for all age groups. So children and elderly are recommended to perform these. Children actually benefit greatly from doing high-intensity interval training, and it's easier to keep them engaged because of how short the exercises are. And the elderly, there's a study that proves that it is very suitable for them, even though it is intense, but they are able to perform this as long as they modify to their own needs. And it elicits the same benefits of moderate intensity continuous training in a much shorter time period, because high intensity interval training is much more efficient than moderate intensity continuous training. As previously stated, the sessions for high intensity interval training usually last around 15 to 30 minutes, while for moderate intensity continuous training, the sessions are around an hour. And the same amount of calories are burned in both sessions. So it is much faster to perform high intensity interval training than it is to do moderate intensity continuous training, and you're still getting the same benefits with both time periods. And moderate intensity continuous training is also, while it is easy to implement into daily life because it includes walking, running, cycling, high intensity interval training is actually even easier to implement because of that time efficiency. So instead of having to cut out a whole hour of your day to do a workout, you just cut out about 15 minutes and you are just as well. So clearly, high intensity interval training is superior to moderate intensity continuous training. It is more effective in weight loss, muscle gain, it improves happiness, it can also increase memory and boost brain power for children, and it is very suitable for all levels of fitness. So implement high intensity interval training into your weekly workout routine. Thank you for listening.